Welcome back guys to Thailand Adventures with Dan. A friend's dying wish. This is part 3 guys, so if you want to start on part 1 then please click up here and let's get on with the story. It was my final full day in Pattaya and it was my last real opportunity to finish any shopping as I was going straight to Bangkok airport by taxi the following afternoon. This was the most convenient way to connect with the 6:30 p.m. flight to Sydney. I set out from the hotel around 11 a.m. to go to the shops in the Tech Mall. It's like a mini Pantit Plaza that is located in the Pratunam area of Bangkok. Vic and I used to spend hours at this Tech Mall as it had about 5 floors of small shops with everything from clothes to mobile phones, cameras and computers. A great place to spend a rainy day. It was there that I had the weirdest experience. I was walking past a video store that I often frequented with Vic, but as I didn't really need any DVDs, having previously stocked up days before, I had not planned to go inside. However, as I walked past the store, I got this urge to walk back and go inside. The feeling was overwhelming. Once inside, I didn't really know why I was there, except to say I was drawn to the rear part of the shop where there seemed to be a collection of DVDs in boxes that were unsorted. The salesgirl looked over and said something to the effect that these DVDs had not been sorted and she will put them on the shelf later and that they were really not for sale. But you can keep looking if you want. Okay, I replied, so I kept rummaging through the box, not really looking for anything in particular. Towards the bottom of the pile, I found a DVD titled The Ghost and the Darkness. I remember seeing this movie sometime before in Sydney at my son's house. I don't know why I bought it, but I thought it being such a great movie with Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas would be good to have it in my collection. Even to this day, it's one of my all-time favourite movies and certainly in my top 20 list. It tells the story of 2 rogue lions hunting by night as if they were like ghosts, suddenly appearing and killing everyone in sight, and how they are finally stopped. Wait, see it for yourself, it's truly one of the best movies. I gave the money to the salesgirl who didn't say much, as I noticed a sort of vague hesitancy about her when she saw the title of the DVD I was buying. I picked up on something but just couldn't put my finger on it. As you may be aware guys, Thais are very superstitious and often don't like even talking about ghosts or even saying the word. Anyway, I left the store and caught a couple of BART buses back to the hotel, arriving back around 3 p.m. When I got back to the hotel, I unpacked my shopping bag and I was ready for my daily afternoon nap at 4 p.m. Whilst I was asleep, I started dreaming, as usual, but this time the DVD I bought was on my mind. Or was it the experiences I had over the last few nights with the perceived knocking on the door? The unexplained aftershave fragrance in the bathroom, the inexplicable weird feelings overall, or was it just my imagination gone crazy? When I woke up from my nap around 5:30, it was like I was hit by a bolt of lightning. It was all clear to me now on my last ditch attempt for the bag. I got my English to Thai dictionary that I have carried for years and is pretty dog-eared and searched for the word ghost in Thai. The DVD had given me a great idea. Now over the years, I have reflected many times on what I had done during the quest for the bag, and some people may think the worse of me for what I was about to do. But at the time, it's all I could think of to try one last effort to get Vic's bag before I left tomorrow afternoon, Time had finally ran out. I found the word for ghost loosely translated to be P or P, something like that. So I hatched a plan to make up a story and see where it leads. To this day, I am convinced I was led to this story somehow and may have been guided by something I cannot explain. The dreams, the sounds, the smells, the DVD store, who knows? I had hatched a final plan. The Ghost in the Darkness, the story of the 2 rogue lions in Africa that killed many people at night and were thought of as ghosts because of the way they just appeared out of nowhere. I still wasn't sure how this was to play out, as it wasn't really rehearsed or scripted. I had to wing it somehow, but being a salesman, and a confident one at that, let's just fly this story up the flagpole and see who salutes it. So on my way to dinner around 7:30 p.m, I walked past the reception desk downstairs and saw the night manager on duty. The same guy that was on duty when I checked in originally. That same guy giving me grief over the last week by not wanting to return the bag. He looked sheepish, as usual, probably thinking I was going to ask again about the bag, as I did every day without success. But this time, I just gave him half a dirty look, not too disrespectful, as I am in Thailand and don't really wish to spread bad feeling or show disrespect. And I just dropped the key into the key box and walked on by. I stopped, however, about 6 meters past the desk, almost out the door, and I stopped. I turned around and saw him still looking my way with almost a half-puzzled look on his face as to why I maybe had not mentioned the bag, again like I had so many times before. In selling, as in life, I am a firm believer that timing is not only thing, it's everything. I stopped at the exit, slowly looked around, and almost a casual slow motion walk headed back to the reception desk, placing him in the crosshairs. He looked a bit like a deer caught in the oncoming headlights, no movement at all. Stunned. In my best calm but assertive voice, I said, in a mixture of broken English diluted with a little Thai thrown in for good measure, in very quiet, almost melodic voice, like a prayer even, I explained to him that I was no longer interested in the bag, which of course was the furthest thing from the truth. Suddenly, I got his undivided attention. What I was to say next just blurted out. It wasn't rehearsed. Was it divine intervention? Was it Vic guiding my words and thoughts, or was it a combination of the thoughts and frustrations experienced over the last week? Or was it the best yarn you ever heard? To this day, I cannot explain it. I cannot explain where the words came from. It seemed visionary. I simply said, in broken English, in a very calm, melodious voice, last night I wake about 3 a.m. I hear knocking, maybe at door or on wall. Not sure. It try sleep but cannot. About 4 p.m. I fall asleep. I dream very long. Very deep dream. Long time. And Kun Vic, he come to me in my dream. I see him so clear. I see his face. He stand near bed. He say to me words. Alan, never mind about the bag. Krapau, my Benrai. This hotel is very, very bad place now because they not give you my bag. It's too late now because my ghost, my P, is not happy to rest. Every night at 3 a.m. I will walk up and down floor number 3 upstairs and I will knock on the doors until maybe sometime I find or someone is have my bag. The hotel is not do right thing because you, my friend, had many documents to prove I dead. You ask very nice and respectful. I make many friend here. I stay here many times before and now manager, he spoil everything now. I am sad and my ghost, my P, cannot rest. I then told him I was going to dinner and would never talk about the bag again, and that I was a little afraid to sleep in my room tonight, and I might come stay in the lobby around 3 a.m. until 4 a.m. I guess that was really rubbing it in a bit too much, but hell, in for a penny, in for a pound. I was on a roll, and that was the icing on the cake, so to speak. I went to dinner, had a few last drinks, probably more than usual, and gave my farewells at Vic's old bar and got back to the hotel around midnight. As I walked past the desk, I saw the manager was sitting in his office. I thought he normally finished around 11. I sort of half acknowledged him as I got my key from reception and walked to the elevator. In the elevator, there is a full-size mirror in which I saw my reflection and the look of despair on my face about my failure to retrieve Vic's bag. As I entered my room, I thought, that's unusual. The light in the bathroom was on and the door was left half open. That's strange because I always close the bathroom door and I never leave the light on. Never gave any more thought about it, but the light from the bathroom was just enough so I could walk around the room without putting on the main light on straight away. I was a little stung from the drinks at the bar, but still not too unbalanced. I usually store my bag under my bed in order to give more space, and so the place looks uncluttered. But when I looked on the stand to the left of the wardrobe, where you can leave your belongings, I could see my bag. I put on the main light and what the hell, it wasn't my bag. It looked like the vinyl green bag Vic used to store at the hotel. I sat on my bed and gathered my thoughts and then hurriedly looked in my toiletries bag for the key that Vic had given me. I opened the bag and immediately looked for the wallet. Yes, it's in the old jeans. And money is still inside. I sat on the bed very tired and tried to come to my senses to count the money. I had to know, but being a bit under the weather got different totals each time, so decided to leave it until the morning. Did I finally figure it out? Did I hit a nerve with the ghost story? If at all, was it just a story, or was it in fact a journey into the realm of the unknown? Whatever it was, it bloody well did the trick. That manager must have totally crapped himself at the thought of a ghost frequenting the third floor every night at 3 a.m. The Thais are lovely people, but extremely superstitious, as you well know, but that's another story for another day. Nevertheless, I went through the bag the next day. The wallet, in fact, contained 14,720 baht, an alarm clock radio, a small personal fan, a bundle of fresh colostomy bags, clean underwear, clean socks, some golf-type shirts, tracksuit pants, toiletries, and of course a pair of jeans. Nothing of real value besides the cash. I checked out of the hotel at 1:30 in anticipation of the taxi coming at 2 p.m. On my way back to Bangkok and on the flight, I felt I had a few regrets on what I finally did to retrieve the bag. Maybe I should have handled the situation better. Maybe I should have gotten written approval from Vic's mum. Maybe a note from the undertakers. Who knows what else I should have done? Was I naive as to think it would be that easy? I was in uncharted waters, so to speak. From the start, I truly believed it would have been easy, but as they say, tit. After all, this is Thailand. TIT. I have since learnt to expect the unexpected of this beautiful country and its peoples. Never a dull moment learning new stuff every day. That little guy, the hotel manager, was maybe doing what he thought was right thing by Vic, or maybe what he thought was in his best interests in case he found something valuable like 14,720 baht in a wallet. In any case, I perhaps should have let bygone be bygones. After all, I had the bag. In hindsight, maybe I really should have taken Vic's bag along with me, at least to the airport, or dumped it along the way rather than leaving it in the bottom of the wardrobe for the cleaner to find. LOL, LOL, LOL. I locked it with a hotel envelope inside it containing 100 baht, and written on the hotel stationery, it said, "Attention to the manager. Thanks for the bag. It was really obvious how much you must have really wanted it. So I left it for you along with 100 baht. I hope it's enough. I'm not sure how much it costs these days to take a bag to the temple for candles and holy water to cleanse it from unhappy spirits and ghosts. Peas. Oops, that's really getting even." Many who hear this story may be critical of my petty revenge in the end, and I will gladly accept and take any critical comments you leave with humility. With the benefit of hindsight and what I know today in my twilight years, I would have done things maybe a little different. I am not really sure. My main focus was getting the bag to see if there was anything important. When I left the bag behind with the stuff of no real value, I really should have taken out the colostomy bags. Only joking. I did take them out and left them in the bin, wrapped. There is, after all, a limit to my sometimes warped sense of humour. I returned to Sydney and went to see Vic's mum with the equivalent of 134,720 baht, plus a little more for good measure, converted to Australian dollars. She was such a gracious lady. She asked me, did I have any trouble getting the bag? I laughed out loud and I said, why don't you make us a nice cup of tea and some of those little cakes Vic told me about, and I will tell you the whole story. She laughed so much at the ending with me leaving the bag behind with the note, etc. I thought she might have a heart attack seeing that she was 93 years old. We kept chuckling about it for ages after that. I am so happy to relate this true story about my very best mate Vic, whom I miss every single day. I am sure he would have done the same for me if I left a bag behind. However, I think his sense of humour was more warped than mine and would have included the colostomy bags in the suitcase. The end. Okay guys, that's the end of the story. If you watched all 3 parts, you'll see that it eventually turned out to be quite dark in the end. Managed to get all this done today. It was hard work, but we've managed to complete it. Big thank you for Alan for sending in his story and literally writing the whole story in proper story format. It was a really good read. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you've got a story to share, guys, then as I said earlier, please send me an email, thailandadventureswithdan@gmail.com, and let me take a look. And then the next time your story could be up on the channel. If you're not a subscriber, guys, please subscribe. I'll catch you on the next video. This has been Thailand Adventures with Dan. I'm off to bed. Over and out.